And friends we haven't met yet, it is I, Paige the Puppet, with another all ages video, a live video for our friends. And we're thinking we might make this a habit. It's just a thought we had after having so much fun this weekend. Not a whole lot of people. Hi. Thank you for joining in. It is I, Paige the Puppet. And yeah, as I was talking about, we had so much fun this weekend. Mama and I with the lives we did. And we thought, we enjoyed this so much. Maybe we can find a time when our fans are like online and ready to talk so we can answer questions and, really get into some of the deep conversations that are needed to have if you're going to have a successful business. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Oh, we lost our live viewer. Well, that is sad. But hopefully we can become, what's the word? Consistent. Yeah, consistent. So tonight we are live and it is 8 p.m. Eastern time. But on Wednesday, we're going to go live at 8 p.m. our time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Friday, well, I'm not sure what time we're going to go live on Friday evening, but it will be sometime on Friday evening. Hopefully our fans will have a chance to chime in and say, hey, yeah, I'd like to be there. I got some questions. We're hoping that Sarah maybe will come on and ask some questions, because we were thinking, okay, so this is how we came up with the idea for doing the evening ones. Okay, first of all, Mama gets up at 5 a.m. To get ready to go and look after the little kids, as she does that starting she leaves the house at 6, but she starts officially at 6:15, and then she's done officially at 3:15. So a couple hours in between, and then we were thinking, okay, who do we want to help the most? We want to help people like Mama used to be. And when Mama used to be a young mama who wanted to have a business. Well, she had a business. She didn't just want to. She actually did it, right? But anyways, the only time that she could have that she could attend things, because back then there were things like webinars and text chats and opportunities to, conversate with others. Hi, I know there's a live viewer out there. Thank you so much for joining me. We are hoping to make a habit of some evening get-togethers. I'm just gonna go over and check over here. I see there is. Oh, hey, Lori, how you doing? How you doing? We are so excited that you decided to drop in. Yes, Mama's here too, of course. She's just hanging out and let me do most of the talking. She likes to let me do that. So, anyways, as I was saying, Mama got into thinking, what time would she have been available when the babies were a little bit, well, her babies aren't babies anymore, they're men. Even though she started all this when the oldest one was 6 months old. So it's been a long time, because he's 25 and a half now. Can you believe it? So it's been 25 years. So way back then, she only had the evenings after he went to bed, where she could participate in things like this. So we're thinking maybe that's true of mamas today, and maybe this will be a way that we can help, because Mama did after that. Okay, so here's what we think is an amazing thing about Mama is a lot of times you hear that when you stay at home for a lot of years, raising your children and so on, that it can be difficult to get back into the workforce. But Mama, because she was able to work from home and not in an MLM, which can leave big gaps in your resume, but what she was able to do from home, she was able to transition nicely in her resume to the point where she went from retail before having kids to having a professional sales job after she went back to work into the workforce for the first time. So there's something there. We think that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, we were thinking about that, that maybe doing some evening, especially since we can't get so much to the YMGs anymore, because it's well, maybe we will in the future if we can get that little girl to stay asleep. But she's been getting up as soon as Mama shows up. So there's no time in the morning to turn in to your morning guru like we used to do. So there's that. Yeah. So, Mama, did you have anything to say? Did you have anything to add? Maybe you could tell what you did today.
Sure, Paige, I suppose I could talk about what I did today. Well, of course, I went to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and today, me and the little girl, we went to the local park, Rotary Park, which is pretty darn awesome. It's got two slides. Well, we went there. We went there last year, and you showed it off. I think, did we leave that on your channel, or did we take it off your channel? I can't remember now. In any case, we went to Rotary Park, and then I went to the gym and found out that they charge way too much for Mama's pocketbook to sign up right now. They had a special going on, so I thought I'd check that out. And then I decided that we would go live here while the locksmith goes and does some gardening.
Oh, okay. I guess that's interesting. I don't know how relevant any of that is to our audience out there, but it is interesting. Oh, it says Lori is recovering from too much sun and fun in the pool over the weekend. That's awesome. I'm glad you are having a chance to go out and enjoy yourself. We are kind of enjoying ourselves. It's been very unsettled weather here in Whitecourt. Lots of rain and not as much sun as we would like. But, you know, the weather is the weather, and at least it's summertime, and there is no snow. So that's a bonus there. Yeah. Oh yeah, you had some notes. You had some notes. Let's pull those up and we can talk about. Oh yeah, we were talking about success and how we were trying to narrow down our target audience to figure out who we're really talking to. Because right now, we are in Whitecourt, Alberta. That is a very small town, about 10,000 people, just northwest of the capital city of Alberta, which is Edmonton. So we are not we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, but not the middle of nowhere. Because Mama used to live at the edge of nowhere when she lived in the Arctic. That was a long time ago, before I was here. I would really like. It would be really cool if I could go to the Arctic. Yeah, Canada. Hee hee. Yeah, of course, RK always makes fun of Canada, but we really rock. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, so, oh yes, we were talking about success and how really when it comes down to it, we want to reach those people who want to make a living, not necessarily a fortune, because they say teach what you know, and that's what Mama knows, is how to stay home and make a living and kind of balance it out with the children. Yeah, there's lots of interesting things in New Orleans too. I could see that being really cool, but we are not city creatures. Not Mama, not me. We are not city creatures. It's just too busy. It's too busy for us, and we like the quiet life and just hanging out by a lake or a river and things like that. So yeah, that's what we like doing. And so doing that in a big city just doesn't work, not at all. Yeah. And the definition of success, we were talking about that, and how he says, I wish I was in Alberta right now. I'll bet the weather is a lot cooler than our heat wave in central Texas. And yes, I can assure you that we are much, much cooler than central Texas. But you know what's really cool about Texas is that it is a lot like Alberta in terms of the infrastructure industries that are present within Alberta and Texas. It's kind of like we're sisters. but not really close sisters because you guys do some weird stuff down in the States. But we are very much like Texas. A lot of Albertans, actually, right now down in Calgary, a lot. I don't think that you would really be able to tell the difference between Texas and Alberta down in Calgary these days, because of course they are having the Calgary Stampede, which is a big, huge international celebration with the Cowboys and all of that. So yeah, that's another way that Texas and Alberta are kind of the same. Yeah. Yes, it can be very difficult to be outside in the hot weather. We are, of course, lucky. We don't have to deal with that. We don't even need to have an air conditioner like in most of our houses. It's just because it's most of the time it is not warm enough to need them every so often. Every 5 years ago, we go through every 5 years or so, Mama says, we go through a heat wave, and that can be really uncomfortable. But for the most part, uh, we we don't have high heats. It's like every 5 years or so, we get like really high killer heat. People die. It's sad. It's truly sad when we actually do get a heat wave. I imagine, much like it would be if you ever got, well, we saw a few years ago what happened when you guys got a big snowfall. All your power went out and stuff like that. So there's ups and downs of every place we live. And that brings to mind one of Mama's favorite sayings: bloom where you're planted. It doesn't matter whether you live in Texas or Canada, or even, you can live in a city or you can live in the country. You can live by an ocean. You can live by an ocean on the East Coast, the West Coast, wherever you are. You can do things that make you a living from home. It's really a cool thing. You just don't want to fall for a recruitment based business scheme. You want to try and stay away from those business in a box type affairs. That's what Mama used to call them before we knew about MLM or anti MLM. We used to call those types of business in a box, because it's like, oh, you get a box and it's supposed to be your whole business. We didn't like, and see, here's the thing. Mama, if we had lived in the States, we would be a type of employee that's very similar to the MLM. So that on its own, that legal thing, doesn't mean that you aren't a legitimate business. You know what I mean? So anyways, there's just that. Wanted to mention that because sometimes people get confused about what they can do from home and what they can't do from home. Of course, now we've got so many more opportunities with YouTube to be able to, like, well, I mean, I have a lot. I have like 930. Is it 930? Yeah, 930 people to go. I think it's, no, wait a second. 830? I'm not mathing too good, but I have lots of people before I even get monetized here. But, as long as us talking here leads to Mama getting a few more clients, that's kind of good too. We don't really need to be monetized for Mama to get more clients that she can help. Yeah, so there's that too. There's other ways to make money that don't necessarily involve, you know, spending the money on the MLMs. Of course, Lori, you know all about that, and you're not going to be suckered in again ever, because you've done it a lot. And that's okay, because we learn from our mistakes. And, there's that. So, let's see. She says, profitable. I disagree, Miss Lori Hale. I disagree, because you know what? Fundamentalism is a huge topic on YouTube. It might be a small niche. I don't know how big the channels are, but people that talk about that and cultish like behavior and Mormonism and all of those things, they are actually quite. Now, I don't know how much and good they monetize, because they are often difficult topics, maybe difficult to monetize. But those topics are still interesting to people. And you can always, once you get the traffic in, it takes time, right? It takes time. But once you get the traffic in and they love you, then they'll buy stuff from you, like the merchandise, or, sign up for your Patreon and things like that. So even in the smaller niche areas, is possible. It's possible to make okay money. Maybe not a fortune. I'm not saying you can go and buy that dream house. I am saying that making a reasonable income is totally possible, almost no matter who you are. This is what I believe. This is what I believe because I'm just a little puppet, but I have done a lot of things. I have seen things through Mama's eyes, some of them, and some of them through my own eyes. Yeah. So that's what I think about having a profitable YouTube channel. And sometimes it means, experimenting a little bit and seeing where things intersect. You know what I mean? Like you look for what's popular and look where that intersects with your interests. Yeah, that's another way that you can do things to make it more that way. But the first thing is getting to that first 1,000. That's what I hear, and that's what I am personally working towards in what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what Mama is all about. Self-sustainable, profitable, not the, six figures in 6 months. I mean, it sounds sexy, but it is not real. And I'd really like to concentrate on what is real. Even though I'm a puppet and some people say I'm not real, I am as perfectly real as anyone else. I think so. Anyway, it doesn't matter what you think, it matters what I think. And that's how it is with your business too. And here's the thing, okay, Henry Ford, he has done some bad things in his life, he's done some good things in his life. Of course, he was the one who started contributing to the assembly line, right? Anyways, one of his sayings was, if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're right. Do you get it? If you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're right. Because if you believe you can't, you're not going to look for ways to make it happen. But if you believe you can, then you start to look at the possibilities. And I will tell you, it may not end up exactly as you envision it, but 99% of the time, it turns out better than you thought it would be. That's the way it's been for Mama. Oh, you'd like to write books too? Mama, she's kind of a failed fiction writer. Gotta say, she's got the 5 unfinished manuscripts that have been in there. Oh, hello, hi, hi, Cool Gamer, welcome. I just sitting here talking with Lori, and we were just about talking about writing books. And yeah, that was one of Mama's interests too. That was actually her first interest when she was looking after the kids in the daycare, and she was thinking, oh, what would I like to do? And so books was one of them, but she never actually finished one of her novels. She did finish a couple of the nonfiction books, and she did get published as an author with a chapter in another book. But that was a whole thing in itself. I should actually do a scam report on that. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Anyways, thank you, Cool Gamer. You're awesome too. And yeah, so when it comes to books, oh, but I have some big news when it comes to books. Mama's eldest son is, if he goes on his current trajectory of writing, if he keeps writing the same amount of words over the next while, he will be completed his novel, his first novel, by the end of August. Isn't that so exciting? Mama's really excited about it because, even though she is the queen of the half finished novel, it looks like her son is going to break that trend and actually finish his first novel. So that's awesome, don't you think? I think so. Anyways, after that, we'll think about all the other things. But it's gonna be cool just to be able to say, "Hey, I have a big brother that wrote a book." Of course, I could technically say I have a big brother who's in a book, but that's kind of a halfway, sideways way that we did it. Of course, I am referring to the wonderful Sean Boston. Yeah, Sean Boston the puppet. That's my brother, and he's a little bit of a weirdo, and he's a little bit slimy, but I still love him because he's my big brother. Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Cool Gamer. Thank you for saying you like our shirt. Yeah. So those are my thoughts so far. So glad you could join us and that I could have a conversation. I just love having conversations. It's so much easier than trying to make content out of my head. I never know where to start. Actually, I do have some that Mama could be editing, and we will be doing some editing tonight. And maybe we'll actually have some produced videos out this week. We're hoping to, but I've learned not to trust Mama when it comes to saying when she's doing things. Her ADHD makes it hard. And also the fact that she's, we're a side project for right now. I gotta kind of prove myself here and start gaining some traction so she can make sure that this is the right way to go. Because she has been, debating whether to start an actual kids channel with kids content because she noticed when she was teaching. Well, she wasn't teaching, she was just an assistant in the school, but they use a lot of YouTube in the classroom, like a lot for math and for gym and for science and also for some English and stuff and language arts. And it's like my siblings and I could do that. They use a lot. It's a lot animated. There's some with like people in it, but there's a lot animated. But you know what? There wasn't a whole lot of puppets. So maybe that's a niche we can get into. But we have to do the market research and see if there's actually a market for it or whether we're just out to lunch, It could be. It could be. But yeah, we were thinking about that. And so, yeah, that's where we are at, where I have to work on proving myself here. And we're also working on seeing whether an alternative plan might be advisable. So that's where we are in our small business process as far as what we're doing here. The other day, we said that we had 179 subscribers, but it turns out we only had 177. So I don't know if we lost two, or Mama counted wrong, or she saw it wrong, or what happened, but that's where we are at today. It's a good number. It's a good number. I like the number 7. So 2 sevens is pretty good, but I would like to make it higher. But I guess that means coming up with content that people want to watch. Isn't that the challenge? Oh, it used to be a lot easier to get noticed online. That's what Mama's has noticed over the years. It used to be easier to get noticed, but things get big, and then it's harder to, be, what's the word? I forget what the word is. Oh, Laurie says people subscribe and then they unsubscribe. So it fluctuates, I notice. Yeah, I know it does. It's just, we notice really big when we're small. Like when Mama had the bigger lists, we didn't notice the 1 or 2s going away so much. It wasn't, but when you're small, you notice everything. It seems so much bigger than it will once we get a little bigger and we have more audience. But, the truth of the matter is each and every one of those people means something to me. They probably have dreams and ideas and things, and I just love to share with all of them, and that's the fun. That's the fun of being here and sharing. And you know what? Even though I say that I have to prove myself, Mama's going to keep on talking to the small, creative, independent business owner through this channel, even if we do start the other channel. Because, we're about profit, but we're also about heart too. Like, it's not just always about the one thing. And also, Mama needs an outlet to talk to other small business owners out there, because there aren't a whole lot of them within our personal real life sphere. And some of them in our personal real life sphere, a lot of the business owners, they're a little bit, what's the word? Stodgy, uncreative, boring. I say those things because they don't like puppets. And that is just horrible. But they exist, and that's the reality we live in. And as I said, one of Mama's favorite saying is, bloom where you are planted. And this is where I'm planted. So here we try to bloom. And so, yeah, I'm just going to take that one off for now. Boop. There we go. Hi, new viewer. I hope you are enjoying the show so far. We're just sitting down, chit-chatting, talking about success and, any questions you have on marketing or copywriting or, I don't know, like Mama knows a whole lot. She took a couple of courses to get her certification as a small business coach and trainer. And so, we can share that knowledge with you if you have any specific questions. Of course, that's what she does through her personal coaching sessions and that sort of thing. But hey, we're here. You might as well pick her brains while you have a chance. And we're going to give a chance to do that several evenings throughout the week. We're trying to find our best time to find our target audience so that we can chat and stuff, So there you go. There's a question, I think. Oh, this is a great question. How do you get a YouTube account where you can do live stream like this? Is it a premium account? No, it's just a regular YouTube account, but I'm using an outside software. The outside software that I personally use is called StreamYard. There are other ones, including BeLive, and you can also do this through a program called OBS, and also one through one called XSplit. All of those will do varying degrees of doing, what's on the screen here. It's also what RK and Savvy use. They use StreamYard as well. And we also have some of our friends who use and recommend BeLive. And so, yeah, there's a couple of different options. The reason I chose StreamYard is because I can do this part at least for free. There are some premium features that you can pay for with a monthly membership. Including being able to stream to several channels at once and across different platforms, so that if I had the paid one, then I could be live on here and on Instagram if I wanted to be, or live here and on Facebook, or any combination of that. So that's one of the premium features. But with the basic features, you can get quite a lot done. You can't record. That's one feature that's on the premium. I like to have it download directly to your desktop as you're doing your live. But yeah, so that answers that question. Yeah, that's StreamYard. And please do not think you are technologically challenged. We live in a house with a man who has panic attacks, literal panic attacks about using the computer, like when he has to do some of the stuff on there. It could be a very big thing, but it's okay. You don't have to know all the technology to be able to do it. And if you find a good patient teacher, you will be able to get it. None of this is rocket science. All of this does make sense if you just take your time and breathe and find a good teacher, and then you'll be able to do it. It's really not that hard. It just takes a little bit of believing in yourself, really. Being technologically challenged does not have to be a challenge. Yeah. Yes, yeah, this is something we have witnessed, and it is hard. The anxiety attacks. Now, of course, not a counselor, not know nothing other than a puppet who has a mom who suffers from different things. But if you can, reduce that anxiety and find the ways that work for you, and then find a patient teacher, you can get through it. It's not that hard, and if you have questions, again, I will be doing these on the regular, and maybe I can even do a little tutorial, show it how it's done, because it is not that difficult. It is very easy. If you can run Facebook, and you can run a live like this. It's not that difficult. But that anxiety, whoo, it can be a doozy. Such a doozy. But it doesn't have to be. Yeah. I could totally understand that. Mama needs a therapist. Let me tell you, Mama needs a therapist. And that's just a reality, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's just awesome. I think it's awesome that you are seeing somebody, and that hopefully you will be able to help minimize the symptoms so that you can go about life and be as productive as you wish to be. I have to tell you, Mama used to have anxiety so bad, she didn't learn how to drive until she was 35. 35 she was when she learned how to drive, because she got. Oh, I don't mind getting off topic. This is what I am here for. The plan is that I come live and talk to people, and answer the questions, and then the questions that I get that I have answers to, I will snip them out, and I'll do those as shorts and make some produced videos out of those. And then that way I have content that's actually relevant to the people who are subscribers. Because so far, all I know about my subscribers is that they are Your Morning Guru and Savvy Writes Books fans. That's the only thing that I know, that is, what's the word? I forgot the word. Anyway. That's common. That's the word. Ha! Common. Yeah, common. That's the word. So yeah, the only thing that I know that is common between everybody that is my current subscriber is that they are RK and Savvy fans. And of course, they're a great group of people. But my challenge now is finding my space that I can help them in. And of course, we start with small, creative, independent, small business owners who desire or require champagne marketing on a beer budget. That's our clique. That's our niche. That's what we want to help with. But it's a huge content area, and it makes it difficult knowing where to start. It's like, okay, we know all of these things, and it's hard too, because Mama started her businesses so many years ago, and she's gone through so many transitions, and has so many different skills. She's done so much, copywriting, graphic design, web design. What else did she do? Oh, we do video editing, production, videography, so many things. Oh, she's written brochures. She's written handbooks, employee handbooks. She's written sponsorship documents, to try and get people to donate to a special cause. All those sort of things are things that she has done. And so it's hard to know, okay, where do people really need the help with? What is not being addressed by our current our current needs, because we want to fit in where there's a need, but there's not already, tons of people filling up the space. And here's the thing, Mama is a business coach, but not one of those slimy business guru coaches. And so we're looking for a way to stand out and differentiate because they stole the word coach. And in a lot of cases, they have ruined the legitimacy of certification, because a lot of these places, these coaching places now, they give you a certificate. You pay enough money and they give you a certificate, so it's hard to differentiate because Mama has a certificate, but how does she differentiate and say, well, this is how my certificate is different? Yeah, it's a challenge, one of the challenges that we are facing. So yeah. Oh, and this is the one that is, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't mention is that some of the skills that you learned in your MLM will serve you well in your business of your own. You just have to drop the ones that are not beneficial and use the ones that are actually true techniques that are good for business. And so you have a head start on people who have never done a business before, but you will have a lot of ground to cover in terms of the beginning stuff, because I know that the lady that we knew in real life who did she was into MLM and got to the top and all of that, when she came out, she didn't even know how to read a profit and loss sheet. So there are some things, some gaps between the business knowledge. But again, they are easy to bridge. Okay, maybe not easy. It takes time. It takes effort. This is not, easy. It's not overnight success. In fact, one of Mama's sayings, and she probably stole it from someone. I cannot say that she did not steal it from someone, but it takes 10 years to create an overnight success. That's one of Mama's lines, because it's true. All of the people that she knows that have, climbed to the top of a legitimate business, it's taken them about 10 years to go from zero to, woohoo! That's how long it takes. And some of the people that she knows that have gotten, big, yeah, it's taken a long time to get there, and lots of little steps along the way, lots of ups and downs, and feeling like giving up, and changing directions, pivoting, had to, shoo, shoo. Oh dear, sorry about that, fans. Anyway, yeah. So, and you know what? We know just one country singer. You would think, you're a country singer, you have a few albums out. Well, this lady, she has 3 albums, and she still has a day job. So things are not always as they appear, and all that glitters is not gold. So that's, more cliches to make your day. Anyway, I think I'm getting a little punch drunk. Mama, how much of that Coke did you drink? I am talking about the Coca-Cola, not the other kinds. We don't do that. No. Just Coca-Cola. Okay, just so you know. Anyway, just give me one moment, please. Uh-oh. What are we doing there? Okay. And I just have to take a quick break here, if you will excuse me from the screen. I am back. Sorry about that. I just had to go off screen for a minute and I thought I would leave you here. So, anyway, uh, you know, a lot of people can come out of MLMs and come back with businesses that are very strong and profitable and sustainable. It does take time to get there, but it is totally possible. One of the things that Mama finds really frustrating is that a lot of people seem to come out of situations like, say, you're working a minimum wage job, and then people expect to come out of that and be automatically making, 50 or $100 an hour working from home. And it doesn't work like that. You have to increase your skills and your talent and take the time to work up towards that. When Mama first started online, she was writing press releases for $25. Yeah, it was dirt cheap, but she was learning and honing her craft. Sorry, I got distracted by the comment, and it is really a good craft. Yeah, you learn that too. Things are not always as they seem with these people who sell programs and say that they are making all this money doing a certain thing, but they aren't. Yes. And Mama was so disappointed when she discovered that people were lying about things. So there was this one time she was working on this event with these people. And the other person, they put up a post on the Facebook saying, "Oh, almost sold out," and that sort of thing. And so Mama would contact them and said, "Oh, that's so great that you're almost sold out. That's awesome news. It must be well, doing well." And the lady said, "Oh no, we just do that to try and make people think that they will miss out and that the number of tickets has gone down, but we haven't actually sold any." Like, are you kidding? People are going to know when they show up. They're going to know when they show up that they didn't sell the tickets. That was really irritating. And that's well, I hope you learn to trust some people, because there are some people that are trustworthy. It is important to, of course, be cautious, but don't be so cautious that life passes you by, because that can happen too when we get too closed off. That's an important thing too. You have to know who to trust, but you also just can't go around not trusting anybody, because that's just sad, and it doesn't get you anywhere that you want to go, because we do need other people to help us in our path towards success. It's not a lonely journey, even though everybody says, "Oh, self-made man or self-made woman." I will tell you, without fail, no one made themselves. No one. The ones that say they did, liars. And that's just the way it is. It is. Oh, but yeah, and then the other thing that I wanted to say, we were talking about the liars, about the event tickets and that sort of thing. Mama has personally experienced where she thought she would get, a lot of different responses to different things, and then be disappointed when like only two people joined a draw for a big prize. And it's like she wonders, have other people too been experiencing this lack of response and they just faked it? Like, was that what was happening? Because it was really like, it's like, oh my goodness, did we do something wrong? Do we stink? What's going on? And then we found out that a lot of people just lie about the results. And then there was this other experience we had where we thought we were going to a big event because they wrapped it up on the radio so much, so much, so much. And we went there and there was nobody there. Like, it was a dead event. Even though it had made on the radio, they made it sound like it was going to be so big and so many people were going to be there. And then they showed up and they were so disappointed. Oh my goodness. I just saw here that you used to have a house cleaning business. And you know, that is one of the very most lucrative businesses that a person can have. But it takes so much work to make it lucrative. Like it doesn't, it's not lucrative on a small scale. Typically, like it's profitable, but not lucrative. Like, does that make a sense? But I know a lady, one of our favorite ladies at our coaches, she's a small business coach from Ottawa, and she started with a house cleaning business. Oh, I am very sorry about the Tupperware at night, but you do live and learn. Yeah. And that's a very good career to have, I think so. Mama can't do it because Mama's a lazy bastard. She's so lazy when it comes to cleaning. Did you know that she doesn't do no cleaning? She does no cleaning. She's a princess. She's so spoiled. Yeah. So that wouldn't be a good very business for her. Not a very good business for Mama. Because I don't know who would do the actual cleaning. Like, and the locksmith, he works enough. He works way more than enough. The reason we're on here right now at this time is because he is at the garden. He's at the garden. And you know what? He works in that garden all summer long, and then he cans it, and we have food for all winter. And so, yeah. Oh, arthritis. Arthritis can be very difficult. Mama is lucky we haven't had much of an experience with that yet, but it's always a worry because her grandparents, they had it pretty bad, and her mom and that sort of thing. So as she gets older, she's going like, oh, nah, I don't want that to hit, but I know it's probably coming. Genetics and all that. So yeah, there's that. Oh my, just looking at the time, it's 6:47. So I'll talk here for maybe another 15 minutes. Yeah, I imagine it's very hard to garden in a hot state like Texas. You'd have to do it like all in the springtime when it's not too hot or something like that. I don't know how it works growing things down there. All I know is that the locksmith, he has a friend who has a little bit of farmland, and they go out there and they plant the garden. And Mama goes out sometimes. Some years she goes out and she just helps plant it. And usually she only goes out like that once, maybe twice in the growing season, because like I said, she's lazy, and it's a far drive. Well, not a far drive, but she's lazy. So anyway, she doesn't really do any of that, and he does the planting and the weeding and the watering and the harvesting. Then he comes home and he cans it all up, and she does stuff like this. She makes puppets and talks online. Yeah. It's a good thing he loves her. It's a good thing he loves her. Sorry about that silence. I was just thinking of what to say. They say that if you can't think of anything to say, you should just be quiet. But I don't like that. I don't like it when it is quiet. It just seems wrong to have dead air. Yeah, making puppets does take a lot of work. It does. Not gonna lie. Although she did make me and my siblings all in pretty much one weekend, but she didn't sleep. She stayed up. It was like, I don't know. She was what's the word? Almost possessed. Yeah, she's just like was on a roll, and she just kept going and going and going until we were all done. And then when we were all done, she celebrated, and it was a great long weekend. But most of the time, she doesn't work that hard on us, especially now that, we're running out of space. We're running out of space for puppets around here. So the only ones she makes now are ones she's selling or giving away. Not ones that are going to stay with us very long. Unless we come up with some new characters. Maybe if we start that kids channel, we might make some new characters. But for right now, we're just waiting for commissions, potential commissions maybe, and doing, the odd one. Oh, thank you. That was actually a quote from. We are very sad to say that he is also one of those people who is not what he appears, but that was a quote from Thomas Edison. That's who said that. It was Thomas Edison. We got it at a local store that no longer exists. Actually, ooh, that's from the store of the lady who doesn't like Pop-Ups. The store is closed now, but that's the lady who became the general manager of the nonprofit. So weird. So weird. But Mama still loves the sign. So Mama still loves the so she didn't get rid of it. She kept it. And then over on that side, if you'll excuse me, Mama, can you? No, you're not gonna. Oh, okay, you can't. You can't show me. But yeah, there we've got our globe. Maybe you want to bring that over to my side, Mom. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that without ruining the optical illusion. Okay, we'll just have to leave it for now. But yeah, that's the story about that. Yeah, we were really disappointed. We thought that he was somebody to look up to all our lives. And then we found out he was kind of a shyster, taking credit for ideas that were not his own. So sad. But we found that about almost every hero that we had, from Gandhi to Mother Teresa, none of them have stood the test of time and stood the test of being integrity in all spaces. Yeah. So this is what we're living with. This is the way it goes. You have to kind of pick and choose the good in the world and the good in the people, because nobody is all good or all bad. I think so. But yeah, it is very, very difficult to figure out who you could trust, because like even the people that you'd think, oh, that's a so sad. Anyway. Oh, no problem, Miss Spellins. It's a chat. We don't have to spell everything properly here. At least I don't think so. Anyways, that's my opinions. What else can I say? I'm not sure. But I'm really having fun talking with you, Miss Laurie. It's so nice. So nice to get to know, my viewers in a more, so that I can figure out what I can do to help, get this lady over here working on some ideas. Oh no, we aren't shysters, but it can be hard to stand out in a world of shysters. That's for sure. It can be there's lots of good people. But I find that the ones who are scammy and who are, they got so much bravado and they're so loud and they're so out there, and they sound like they give you promises that are too good to be true. And of course, they're too good to be true. And, people like me and RK and Savvy, because we are much more realistic. Like, we're not saying don't go for your dreams. We're saying be realistic about your dreams. And then the abundance people are like, no, don't be realistic. Spend more money than you've got. Rely on the dream. And it's like, no, that's dangerous. We can actually, we can actually make a life that is nice, but being nice. At least that's what I think. And, yeah. Although, I kind of, Mama's loud. Do not get me wrong. Mama is loud. And I'm kind of loud too. But, I guess the term is flashy, like it's just like all glitz and glamour. And Mama, look at her. She ain't glamorous. Not glamorous. Although you can dress her up. You can dress her up and take her out Do not get me wrong. She, like, I mean, she cleans up good. But in general, we're just hanging around the house, doing our editing, all that stuff. We don't need the glitz and glab and all the fancy things, We're just like kind of country folk who want to hang back, read a book, not fancy, just, just, just comfy, comfy. Yeah, well, obnoxious is a state of taste, right? I mean, it just is. Because I can be, she can be obnoxious. I can be obnoxious. I think anybody can. But you know what we mean, because we're on the same wavelength about that sort of thing. Like, there's, some of us are too much, and that's okay, right? At least I think so. That's my thinking. I have to moot for just a moment. Oh, here I am. I'm talking and I'm on mute. And you know what? I have no problem talking with just one person. All of those gurus say, oh, if you change the life of just one person. Well, I tell you that Mama means it. We will stay here for one person. And I will be back here on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's the next time I'm going to come on live and we can have a time like this. Am I still muted? Or can you hear me now? Let me know, because I think I'm not muted anymore. Anyway, I'm just about to sign off because we have been talking for nearly an hour. And it says that you need to run off too. So I'll let you run off and I'll run off and we'll go do our thing. And if you are available on Wednesday night, come and join me and bring some friends and we'll just hang out and we'll do this on at least Monday and Wednesday nights for now, for the next few weeks to see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes. Because I think there's mamas who can tune in during these times, I think. And if I can't, yeah. And if I can't, well, we'll figure it out because I am determined. Mama always says, know yourself, know your audience, and never stop learning. Until next time, have an amazing rest of the day. And yeah, we'll be back soon. Wednesday at 8 Mountain, 10 Eastern.